All right, guys, so for your Fences summative project, you're going to be asked to focus on one issue. Hopefully, it'll be the issue that you've been tracking the whole time and gathering quotes for, the issue that you plan to write your synthesis essay on. However, if you choose to work in a group and the members of your group have different issues, then you're just going to have to choose one person's issue to follow, and therefore it might not link to the quotes that you've already pulled and to the essay that you'll write at the end of the try. So you'll decide which issue you're going to focus on for this project. If it's education, you're going to be trying to answer the question, what statement is a play making about the value of formal education? So, like compulsory schooling, like K-12, but also higher ed, like college, trade schools, etc. Gender, uh, the question that you'll focus on is what statement is play making about either what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman. You probably don't want to tackle both, it would be too much. For race, what statement is a play making about the struggles that Black people face? Social class, what statement is a play making about being in a lower socioeconomic class and how this impacts people's lives? Family, what statement is a play making about the relationships between fathers and children? And intersecting identity, you're going to have to write your own question. Come talk to me, email me. It's something that needs to be approved. It's just something that I can't write for you right now because I don't know which uh, issues you're going to focus on. For example, you might write about like what it means to be a Black man, which is like gender and race, but I don't know which ones you want to focus on, and therefore I can't write a question that's like applicable to everybody. So you're going to decide your issue. You're going to understand what you're supposed to be writing or what your project's going to be answering, the question it's going to be answering. And then you're going to decide what type of project you want to do. So the first type is a web series episode. So you're going to want to watch, a couple of thug notes or crash courses to get a good idea about what would be expected of you if you chose this option. The second is a talk show, like you're interviewing different characters from the play. The third is a filmed literary circle. So, you could do all of these on your own. You just have like talk show and film literary circle. You just have to take on like different personas, do some acting. But the film literary circle would ideally be like you're just sitting around with other people talking about the book and trying to like just discuss a question that you've been given for the issue you've chosen to focus on. And the collection of artwork would be things that you've like done yourself, not Google Images. And with each one, you would include some sort of analytical explanation. So, for example, if you've chosen to focus on like the relationships between fathers and their children in Fences, and let's say that you drew like a large father over their child, then you might want to tell me like why you did that, like how it's applicable to the play, what you're trying to say, about relationships between fathers and their children in this play. So the grading rubric, I'm just going to read you an A. So your project will have a clear, precise thesis which completely answers the prompt. Now it's not going to necessarily be a thesis like what we did for the ACT, where we have a topic, arguable, comment, and support, but it's going to be very similar, okay? And the reason being is that like this is a creative project, and so for example, if you're doing a talk show, then we want your thesis statement to be like the title of the episode of the talk show. So like Google some, if you decide to do a talk show, Google some titles of talk show episodes to help give you a better understanding of like what your title should be. But what we're basically looking for is that the title of your episode will answer the question that you've been given, but not in a complete sentence, right? And not with your traditional topic, arguable, comment, support. So the goal of your project is to effectively exploit the format of the project to express the thesis statement so that you don't lose focus in your project of trying to answer that question, okay? Or support your answer to that question. Which takes me to the next one, that you precisely and accurately use the text to support the thesis statement. So this might be in the form of quotes, it might be in the form of just like paraphrasing specific examples from the text. You want to show that you have an in-depth understanding of the text, and you want to produce something that looks ready to publish. It doesn't, like, as professional as possible. So for today's lesson, basically what I want is on paper or just, a notability, submitted your name, the names of anyone you think you'll work with, and yes, you can work with people from other classes, just put their first and last names, the issue that you think you're going to focus on. Like I said, ideally this would be one that you've been already gathering quotes on, that you're going to write your synthesis essay on. But if you're working with a group and other people are doing different issues, then you are free to choose a different one. And then the type of project you think you'll do. So do you think you're going to do a web series episode? Do you think you're going to do a talk show, a literary circle, or a collection of artwork? If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, your task for today is pretty simple. Just kind of planning out what you think you're going to do. All right, guys, so on this document that's attached, you'll see that at the top of each page is one of the issues. So on the first page, it's education. And then next you'll see your prompt, so the question that you're going to try to answer through this project. So in this case, what statement is the play making about the value of formal education? And then underneath that, you'll see your 4 options: web series episode, talk show, literary circle, and a collection of artwork with analytical explanations. And then under each of those types of projects, you'll see a description for what is required if you choose that project. And then on the next page, you'll see the exact same thing for those of you who are going to focus on gender, and then race, social class, family, intersecting identity, etc. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know.